Good afternoon and welcome to the Spring 2020 commencement of the University of Colorado Boulder. Class of 2020, you are unique. Your final semester on campus was upended by a pandemic that is transforming our world. Each of us encountered disappointments and difficulties, and our inability to gather together to celebrate your graduation is particularly poignant. Yet, constructive change can come from tragedy. Find the opportunities around you and employ them for the betterment of yourselves, your community, your nation, and the world. You are now part of the Forever Buffs family that is impacting humanity in wonderful ways, and we eagerly await the stories to hear about your future accomplishments. Please join College of Music degree candidates Claire McCann and Brandon Tyler Padgett for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red was bursting in and gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Commencement is a significant ritual for the human spirit, signifying at once great accomplishment and marking the transition to the next chapter of life, a world of possibilities. It is a momentous day. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Commencement is not only a time for celebration and reflection, it is also a time for gratitude. To the parents, families, and friends, our faculty and staff, we thank you for your support and sacrifices to help our students pursue their education.
To paraphrase a line in a classic movie, I offer you graduates just one word of advice: adapt. Adapting will be essential to your success. This virtual spring commencement ceremony reflects a need to adapt. We are all disappointed that we cannot welcome you and your family and friends to watch you cross the stage to receive your diploma, one that promises to transform your life for the better. We had to adapt because another event of seismic proportions has forced all of us to change our lives whether we wanted to or not. I have never witnessed more people changing more actions so quickly amid so much uncertainty. This period will end. We will eventually find a cure, develop a vaccine. CU is striving to discover solutions. The effect of our actions today will profoundly impact our future. Faculty members adjusted to teaching remotely. Meetings moved to video chat. CU's faculty and staff exhibited tremendous creativity and expended extra effort to ensure we delivered on our teaching mission, therefore allowing you to cross the finish line on the semester and enabling this commencement. CU adapted. The last half of your semester was not what you expected. We are sorry for that. You had to adapt, but as with many things in life, there is likely a silver lining. Your diplomas will list a degree, one that denotes achievement of a certain level of mastery in a field of study. Yet the most important skill we hope we have advanced during your time at CU is the ability to adapt. In this sense, the past couple months may be the period when you learn most intensely what you most need to know: how to innovate, think critically, solve problems, work with others, in short, how to adapt. COVID-19 quickened our embrace of technology and therefore our need to adapt. Use of digital technologies has accelerated. Our investments in biomedical advances have intensified. The curve of change just got steeper. Few careers, few human activities will escape being altered by the galloping pace of change. We all have to keep adapting to succeed. We will only overcome this pandemic together. It has ever been thus. You graduates deserve our congratulations. Those who devoted themselves to you achieving this milestone, your friends and family, CU's faculty and staff, our regents, and the citizens of the great state of Colorado deserve our appreciation. A special note of thanks to Regents Irene Griego, John Carson, and Linda Shoemaker for their years of dedicated service as they retire this year. Not all are poised to adapt as well as you. Change distributes its benefits unevenly. May the light of CU shine in you and from you, but not for you alone. May your light illuminate the path to success for others as you help them adapt. CU Class of 2020, shine on, adapt.
Dear friends, it is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Philip P. DeStefano, Chancellor of the University of Colorado Boulder.
Thank you for attending our virtual graduation to honor you and your momentous accomplishment. I recognize this is not where any of us wanted to be sitting today. You have persevered through one of the most difficult times in the university's 144-year history. You are an historic class. Though separated by physical distance, this class is unprecedented in social solidarity. This will be a bond you will share your entire life. You have worked hard under the weight of extraordinary circumstances. Let's not forget to acknowledge your family, friends, and loved ones who have supported you. Today, we are celebrating you and all of them. I want to also thank your professors. They, like you, have made a sharp pivot in the way they work, and they have mentored you in the best ways they know. On your diploma, you will see the university seal depicting a torch in the hands of youth. Through this experience, you can be the guiding light of a generation. You can shine a light through whatever dark skies might gather. In fact, you already have. You have not waited to graduate to engage and change the world. In your time here, you have advocated for social change. You have taken matters into your own hands. You are already creating the world in which you want to live. During this pandemic, you responded quickly in your own lives, and you have reached out to others. You collaborated with faculty on remote learning. Students printed 3D protective face shields and rose to the occasion to collect personal protective equipment for frontline health workers. This class has already distinguished itself. Now you have the opportunity to become the next greatest generation. The greatest generation refers to the generation of your great-grandparents. Their generation came of age during the Great Depression. They went from the workplace, the farm, and from cap and gown directly into uniform. They sacrificed greatly at home and abroad during World War II. They developed common values of personal responsibility and community service. And then they rebuilt the country for succeeding generations. From great challenge, they forged great opportunity. just as you will. As a nod to our commencement speaker today, Dan Carlin, I will offer another bit of history. Our campus was particularly hit hard by the 1918 global pandemic that infected a third of the world's population. That flu was most likely to hit the young and healthy. Our students at that time were unwritten heroes for the difficult quarantine measures they undertook to minimize the spread and largely spare the community of catastrophe. They were called to do the right thing and make personal sacrifices, just as you have. They set a precedent for all of us 102 years later, just as you have set a precedent in courage, discipline, perseverance, and sacrifice for future generations. You have shown leadership, innovation, and impact, just as the class of 1918 did. The class of 2020 will be written into history just as the class of 1918 was. You are graduating into a new world, a reimagined world. You will chart unknown paths through your culture of collaboration, leadership, and innovation, all things that you have studied and practiced at CU. It is the stuff of the greatest generation and will be the stuff of the next greatest generation. I hope you are as proud of yourself as we are of you. We look forward to honoring you in person in 2021 so we can properly celebrate your accomplishments. I hope that you will return to campus for your in-person ceremony and celebration next spring with special events honoring this historic class. We will welcome you back every year as Forever Buffs, members of a one-of-a-kind class with a unique bond built on shared sacrifice and concern for your family and loved ones. You stood up to an invisible threat, and you stood up together. Before I introduce Dan Carlin, I too would like to acknowledge 3 members of our Board of Regents who are retiring after years of service. Regents John Carson, Irene Grego, and Linda Shoemaker. Thank you for all you have done for the university and its students. Every year, we honor those undergraduate students who have earned all A's during their college career. This spring, 39 students are receiving the Chancellor's Recognition Award. Please visit our website for more personalized recognition of these exceptional students. Congratulations to you all. How appropriate is it that Dan Carlin is our commencement speaker at this historic time? His award-winning podcast, Hardcore History, has been downloaded more than 100 million times. Dan graduated from CU Boulder in 1989 with a bachelor's degree in history. He worked as a journalist in television and radio before he became a podcast pioneer. He brings an unconventional approach to his subject matter that is immensely popular. His 2 podcasts, Hardcore History and Common Sense, are 2 of the leading independent podcasts in their genres. Now, here is fellow buff, Dan Carlin.
Hi, everyone. While I, like all of you I'd imagine, feel somewhat cheated out of a chance to congregate together on Folsom Field under a beautiful Colorado sky in the one-of-a-kind city of Boulder, it seems somewhat apropos that a guy who delivers talks via the internet should be the inaugural speaker at the first annual virtual CU Commencement. I want to thank the students who thought of including me, Chancellor DeStefano, the faculty, and anyone else who had a hand in this. It is an unbelievable honor for me to be able to do this. Thanks to all of you. As some of you know, I am a podcaster and have been since 2005. It probably won't surprise you to know that I didn't study podcasting at Colorado. Back when I was in college, personal computers were still a really new thing, and I actually remember going down to the CU bookstore to see one. This was in 1986, I think. And if you had told me back then that I would someday be doing some sort of a show from my house delivered to millions of people through computers and then on their phones, well, I wouldn't have had a framework in which to process that. I started college as a theater major at a school in Los Angeles before transferring to CU and changing majors to history. Both of those majors, by the way, as many of you know, fall into that dreaded category where people wonder what you will ever do in life to earn a living with it. When I was at CU, the history department had this wonderful little pamphlet, I think it was green if I recall, called something like, "What to Tell Your Parents About Choosing History as a Major." It was designed to give students some counterpoints when their parents said something like, "What are you going to do with a history major? Be a high school history teacher?" Which, first of all, is a great thing to be, and I might not be here today, except for some of those people. And yet, I can't help but notice that I use both my theater education, which I had thought for a long time was wasted class credit and hours, and my history education every day in my current work. Every single day. You couldn't have foreseen or sketched out plans for this in 1989. Yet here we are. You can't predict how you will use your education. The world in which you will need it very well may not exist yet. But when it arrives, you are going to be so much better off for having it than if you didn't have it. When I was here at CU, my advisor, history professor, and all-around good guy, Robert Poyce, told me about the German general Helmut von Moltke the Elder, who once reportedly said, in German of course, that no battle plan survives contact with the enemy. Boxer Mike Tyson made a similar point once, saying that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Well, folks, life is going to throw some punches your way. You don't need me to tell you that. You've already likely taken a few. Life is all about the unexpected, right? You can have a plan for your future all laid out, take the requisite steps towards your goal, do everything right, be on your way there, and then have some unexpected event, like billiard balls caroming off one another on a pool table, that sends you careening towards a completely different goal, on a totally different life path. My dad once told me, if you could look back on your life, from the end of your life, and try to connect the dots that led you from where you began to where you finally ended up, you couldn't do it. There are way too many strange detours and sharp, unexpected twists and turns that everybody encounters along their way. The way this current pandemic has completely changed everything we were doing before it happened is a wonderful life lesson in how quickly reality can turn on a dime. This will be one of those dots in your life trajectory someday that would have been tough to plan for. But the fact that you can't count on a fixed plan to be flexible enough to deal with all the unexpected things life will throw at you doesn't mean you shouldn't be prepared. I'm reminded of a line spoken by General and later President Dwight D. Eisenhower. In preparing for battle, I've always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. What you've been doing here with your time at CU is planning. Planning and preparing for a future that you can't anticipate. Mike Tyson may be right, that your specific plans may go out the window after that first punch, but if you've trained well, learned your craft, become more aware, more seasoned, and more knowledgeable, you will have options you otherwise wouldn't have. You will have a better chance to roll with life's punches, and maybe even land a few of your own. Because if you want to get to where you want to go, I'm here to tell you, you can't just play defense here. You're going to have to take some chances in this life. In the Broadway musical Hamilton, the lead character sings, or raps, that he's not throwing away his shot. Too many people in life don't take theirs. Often it's because the important opportunities in your life aren't apparent until you've seized them. You can only tell how pivotal they were after the fact. I've often looked back on my life, at things I did that ended up altering the entire trajectory of my existence, and marveled at how close I came to not doing them. At the time, it wasn't clear that it was such a big deal. You just don't know until you try. I got my first job as a television reporter after sending an audition tape to a news director who told me explicitly not to send him one. The man said they had no turnover at their station and that there was no job to give me, The quality of the tape itself didn't matter at all. My stepfather, however, told me to send him one anyway. I was loath to do this because those tapes were expensive and I didn't have many of them. But I sent out the tape anyway. And the news director called me a week later. Said he'd had an unexpected rash of people quitting and how soon could I start? What if I hadn't sent that tape? I mean, I nearly didn't. My bemoaning the cost and effort involved almost cost me a heck of a lot more than a $20 videotape and some time. While I was a reporter, I did a news story one day at a radio station, and I was struck with a random thought that maybe I should just drop the program director that I just met a little note thanking him. Didn't seem like a big deal either way. I could take it or leave it. I vacillated about it. I almost didn't do it. But at the last minute, I just said, "What the hell?" and dropped the note in the mail. He called that week and said, "Have you ever thought about going into talk radio?" Again, my life changed course completely, in a positive way, by something I couldn't have foreseen or planned for in advance, and that I nearly didn't do. While I was in the radio business, I worked with a fabulous person who became my friend, but then a person who was going to leave and move to a bigger town. I thought about writing her a note and telling her I'd like to ask her out, but it seemed like something that might backfire, workplace romance and all that. I remember almost chickening out. I was going to put the note under her windshield wiper, and I went back and forth. Do I, don't I? I finally just left the note on the car windshield, walked away, and left it in fate's hands, as I recall thinking. Well, she read the note and decided to stay. And she's been my wife for 20 years now, and we have 2 wonderful kids. But what if I hadn't left that note? I mean, I almost didn't. But in the connect the dots story of my life, the tape to that news director led me to sending a letter to a radio boss, which led me to meeting the person who would give me my whole current life. Oh yeah, it was my wife's mother who also first suggested I do a podcast about history. So if I don't send that tape to the news director, who told me not to, I'm probably not talking with you here today. It is absolutely terrifying to me to think how thin a reed my whole life today rests upon. The worst part was that I had no clue that those things I almost didn't do were, in effect, my shots. But getting your shot is only half the battle. Once you get it, then you have to make good on the opportunity. This is where your years of planning and hard work comes into play. Getting, for example, a transformative job means nothing if you get fired soon afterwards for not being able to do it well. And most jobs require some basic foundation in skills and knowledge, and then the ability to learn more. CU gave me both the skills to put myself in a position to be offered these gigs, and the knowledge, not the specific knowledge of how to do those jobs. After all, I didn't study journalism, broadcasting, or podcasting in school, but the lifelong ability to know how to keep learning. This is one of the most important skills you've gained through your planning. You are prepared to learn more. This skill will be your salvation. We live in an era where the ability to be a lifelong self-educator is absolutely indispensable. So regardless of whatever specific degree you've earned or what subject you majored in, what we're really celebrating here today is the culmination of this stage of your life's work in making you better able to deal with whatever comes your way, positive and negative. You're going to be blindsided by events, both joyous and not, your entire life. What you've done by completing this chapter in your personal story is hedge against the future. You don't know what's coming. Who can? But because of the work you've put in, you become a more formidable individual. A more formidable version of you will be better able to roll with whatever punches await, while also putting you in a better position to take advantage of the opportunities that come your way in life. Think about who you were when you started here at CU, and think about yourself now that you've finished. You've done the equivalent of leveling up in this role-playing game or computer simulation called life. This impacts everything for the rest of your days in ways that will be both obvious and not. A more formidable you will be a better employee, boss, parent, and maybe even person. You may not be able to count on your specific plans for the future. They may get derailed, or or you may fall in love with another path. But because of your efforts and hard work, you're going to be more prepared for all of it. And remember to take your shots along the way, because you never know which ones are going to pay off until you're in a position later on to connect the dots of your own past. With one exception. I can guarantee you that the shot you took when you applied to this institution is one you will never regret. I don't have to wait till the end of your life to tell you that. I speak from experience. Congratulations, Buffaloes, on radically improving your chances in life. Go make the world a better place. I am so proud of you all. Go Buffs.
It is my pleasure to introduce Senior Class Council President Chad Brokaw.
Hello, my name is Chad Brokaw, and I'm the president of the CU Boulder Senior Class Council. When we selected Dan Carlin as our speaker, we did so because we believed that as we entered a new decade, Carlin would provide the necessary perspective to contextualize the events of the future. In my invitation to Carlin, I spoke about the class of 2020's bravery in the face of uncertainty ahead. That our class is kind, generous, and has an unalterable drive to achieve their true potential. I wrote that last November, without knowing that we were about to enter into the most tumultuous time in America since World War II, without knowing that the uncertainty we felt then would not come close to what we feel now. No one could have predicted this, and I am sad for our last semester that could have been, and scared for the world that we are graduating into. We did not get the goodbyes and the closure that we wanted and prepared for. But let this be a testament to our resilience and our ability to come closer together even when we have never been further apart. Our college experience is not eclipsed by the circumstances surrounding our graduation. We are not defined by this virus, nor the economic uncertainty it has caused. Yes, our graduation is a piece of our experience, but only a piece of a larger tapestry, one that is woven with all we have accomplished and all we will accomplish. I have heard many times that our class is the next great generation, but we are not there yet. We have the once-in-a-century opportunity to be the next great generation. But this distinction is not granted to those who sit on the sidelines. Rather, it is bestowed upon those who overcome adversity and forge a better world. The world that we are stepping into is in crisis. It is fragmented, unequal, and feels broken. This world will soon be ours, passed on to us with its many problems and its promises. It may not be fair that we inherit such difficulties, but it is by rising to this challenge that we will become the next great generation. It is by shouldering this responsibility that we will become what we have the potential to be. CU Boulder will always be here for you, and our community will always be anchored by the memories we share. Those of walking under the Farron Field Arch, laughing on Norland Quad, and cheering at Folsom Field. But when we miss the physical home that we spent so much time in, we must remember that a university is more than a place. It is its children, those who leave its halls to enter the world and make it better, those who build and create, those who study and invent, those who work to illuminate the unknowns of this world. The truth is that we are the university, and we help to define its legacy by the work that we do, both on campus and when we leave. As you prepare to go, perhaps full of sadness, certainly full of nostalgia, remember that you were never meant to stay. You are now joining the ranks of all who have come before you, and all who will come after you are gone. It is this fellowship that indelibly connects you to one another, and forever binds you to this university. It is now your charge to move forward into this changing world and change it for the better. It is then that we will become the next great generation, and it is then that our university's light will shine brighter than before. Thank you.
Hello class of 2020. I am sure this is not the graduation you imagined or expected.
For better or for worse, this pandemic has made the class of 2020 special.
Through all of the trials and tribulations, as well as the great and happy times, here we are at the end of this stage in our lives, ready to start the next one.
It's an honor to be a part of a class that starts a new decade.
I'm so proud to be a part of such a resilient class.
I'm so proud of us, and I'm so proud of the people we're all going to become.
I'm part of a group of people who all worked super hard to achieve their goals.
And if I could tell my classmates at CU one thing, it would be to take things one day at a time.
Freshman year was really tough for me because I didn't really know how to get through the hard times.
In times of need, looking towards community has really helped me.
All these amazing people that I can lean on through any tough time that I've ever been through.
And it wasn't until I figured out that I had an entire support system behind me to help.
The class of 2020 has just been pushing everyone to do the best they can.
We are going to be some of the most resilient, adaptive, imaginative, and inventive people to graduate right now.
Being a buff, it means climbing the highest mountains. Okay, I know that's cheesy.
We just care a lot, and I think there's something really valuable in that.
We have the opportunity to reimagine what can be, and let's be who we've been waiting for.
Yeah, there were bumps in the road, but we were all able to make it through, and here we are graduating.
Forever part of us will be hiking in the Flatirons, strolls on the hill, long nights in Norland, and praying for snow days.
Who else will be able to tell the story of video graduations and Zoom celebrations with friends and family? This will link together forever as unique, and I like that.
Keep it rocking, keep it rolling, never take life too seriously. It's been a great ride.
Stay strong, and let's go Buffs.
Go Buffs!
We are so awesome, and now we have a piece of paper that says we're awesome too, so we're all set.
Let's go Buffs. Happy graduation. Stay safe, be well. Here's to the next chapter.
We have now reached that happy moment you've all been waiting for, the conferral of May 2020 earned degrees.
Hi, I'm Scott Adler, Dean of the Graduate School, and on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor to present degree candidates for doctoral degrees, Juris Doctor, and master's degrees for degree conferral.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer on these candidates their degrees. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Kathy Schultz, Dean of the School of Education, and it is my absolute pleasure to present the outstanding graduate for the School of Education 2020, Alexandra Collard, and these outstanding, fabulous, stupendous graduates. All of you are already at the forefront of changing the world, and you are already my heroes. Congratulations.
I am Jim White, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. On behalf of the faculty, I have the pleasure to present our outstanding graduate, Erin Lamaskin, and these degree candidates.
I am Sharon Matusik, Dean of the Leeds School of Business. On behalf of the faculty, I have the honor to present our outstanding graduates, Miranda Jo Bergeman and Sarah Ann Olson, and our degree candidates.
This is Mary Steiner, Associate Dean for Students in the College of Engineering and Applied Science. We are so proud of our graduates this year, and we want to have some special recognition for our outstanding graduates of the College of Engineering and Applied Science, Zaina Pieper, Peter Heller, Ellen Considine, and Jonathan Bosnich. Thank you for all of your hard work. To all graduates, be well, be safe, and go Buffs!
And I have the honor to present to you our outstanding graduates, Julia Marie Casey and Alexa Jade Lair, and these degree candidates.
My name is Lori Bergen. I'm the founding dean of the College of Media, Communication, and Information, and I have the honor to present our outstanding graduate, Delaney Schoenfeld, and these degree candidates.
My name is Robert Shea, and I am Dean of the College of Music. On behalf of the faculty, I have the honor of presenting our distinguished graduates, Sophia Zervas and Miranda Stark, and these degree candidates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer on these candidates their degrees. Congratulations. Welcome to the great extended family of the university.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Let me be the first to welcome you to the Forever Buffs family. Whether you're the first one in your family to go to college, or you're a Buffalo legacy coming from a long line of CU Buffs. There are over 300,000 Forever Buffs out in the world cheering you on today. The Alumni Association is here to be a conduit for you, to stay connected to campus, have access to free career services, and to stay connected to other Forever Buffs. As you head out into the world, you can show your CU pride and find CU Buffs wherever you go just by wearing something that shows your allegiance to the university. By wearing CU gear, you will find Forever Buffs in every corner of the globe. So as you head out today, I want to leave you with a final congratulations and a Go Buffs.
It is tradition at this ceremony to read the charge that the late university president George Norland addressed to the graduating class of 1935. Dr. Norland was a professor of Greek at CU from 1899 to 1942. For 23 of those years, he served as president of the university, and the library he helped plan during that time now bears his name. Well, at CU, President Norland was an eloquent champion of democracy and human equality during a time of serious threats to those principles around the nation and the world. In 1924, the governor of Colorado reportedly took daily orders from the KKK, which controlled the legislature. One of those orders was that President Norland was to rid the faculty of Catholics and Jews. Norland refused, and the university received limited funds that year. In the early 1930s, President Norland was an early and vocal critic of Hitler's Nazi regime. He devoted his career to two great causes: the life of the mind and the love of this university. His devotion is heard in this 1935 charge, which closes all CU graduations and will be given to you today by our three retiring regents, Regent John Carson, Regent Irene Griego, and Regent Linda Shoemaker.
You are now certified to the world at large as alumni of the university. She is your kindly mother and you, her cherished sons and daughters. This exercise denotes not your severance from her, but your union with her. Commencement does not mean, as many wrongly think, the breaking of ties and the beginning of a life apart. Rather, it marks your initiation in the fullest sense into the fellowship of the university, as bearers of her torch, as centers of her influence,
as promoters of her spirit. The university is not the campus, not the buildings on the campus, not the faculties, not the students of any one time, not one of these or all of them. The university consists of all who come into and go forth from her halls, who are touched by her influence and carry on her spirit. Wherever you go, the university goes with you. Wherever you are at work, there is the university at work. What the university purposes to be, what it must always strive to be, is represented on its seal, which is stamped on your diplomas, a lamp in the hands of youth. If its light shines not in you and from you,
how great is its darkness. But if it shines in you today and in the thousands before you, who can measure its power? With hope and faith, I welcome you into the fellowship. I bid you farewell only in the sense that I pray you may fare well. You go forth, but not from us. We remain, but not severed from you. God go with you and be with you and us.
We sing forever your praise.
The CU Boulder Commencement Ceremony 2020 is now concluded. Go Buffs!